because I know that some other leagues are running that as a separate competition to the main league.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah,
You are Spider, aren't you? I know that.
Yes. In Goblin, we're running it as a completely separate format and league.
Well, Pinpad's saying that he thinks that OCC didn't actually make it time to get on that list.
Well, you should ask, because I think they will still give you a ticket now. Just saying.
And yeah, it's Cornite. Can you get if you don't want to, then there's our league as well, Cornite. So perhaps put a link in the chat to join us if you want a ticket to join our league. That closes at the end of this week. So that's opportunity.
That's coincidental with your sudden interest in streaming. Yeah.
Goblins.
No,
Goblins. Goblins qualifier also closes down for signups on March 31st, end of this week.
And Spider, of course. Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, Spider, feel free to put your link in the chat as well, in case we get a wider one.
He will definitely find his faster than I find ours.
Well, do I get to plug ArabBB as well?
Yeah, you might as well go for it.
Danton, plug away while we're doing this. Yeah.
ArabBB, that fantastic Irish league, also moving into BB3. So
does Kaelin play in that one?
Yeah, but people who aren't Irish are allowed to play there, right?
Well,
they are. Well, last season, which was still BB2, and actually we still have one more season in BB2 at least. Jimmy, fantastic, and Eliot both played in it.
Yeah, well, but Eliot is Irish, right?
He may look like a leprechaun, but I don't think that makes him Irish.
No, he's called Doyle though, right?
I'm sure he half of England is of Irish descent, so
and again, sure, aren't we all a bit Irish? Isn't that what we?
Oh my god!
Say?
Exactly.
Normally, I'm
the Irish in all of you.
I don't need to be prosecuted by the Irish again. It already happened once.
What did we do to you?
Well, there we go. Right. So yeah. So right. plug your unfilled and open World Cup ticket leagues in the chat. That is great. Let's have a look at this seeding Group A. So I thought what we'd do is we'd go through some of the teams. Obviously, they're all freshly made. So most of them, I think, will follow fairly formulaic builds. There's a couple of new races, I guess, that we can look at. I mean, I'm not familiar with the new races at all, so I'm very much relying on you guys for that. And then, if I can operate all this machinery in front of me here and an Excel document, then we're going to make some predictions on who's going to finish in what order, and then we'll come back to that as we go as well. I'm not sure how this is going to work long term in terms of looking at the divisions. We might have to.
I imagine that
we'll have to screenshot the results.
Your interest will wane because there won't be RPS league to plug, and Spider might too. So that leaves, But yeah.
If we're doing it in the evening like this, I can pretty much be on, except for Tuesday nights. Any other night, I'd pretty much be on.
Cool. I mean, what I mean by that though is like when the games play, I'm not sure how long the results are up, or if indeed the results are publicly available. If that makes sense. So.
The matches are.
Galentio's tool.
Oh yeah, we can use Galentio's tool, can't we? Actually.
Yeah, but I mean, also replays stay up for a few days at least.
24 hours.
Actually, one thing.
24 hours. Oh shit.
Yes.
So I'm actually playing in two other BB3 leagues that are handling this differently as well. In terms of one of them, I'm in the BB Tactics one where the validation doesn't happen until the round rolls, whereas the ArabBB one is instant validation. The reason that BB Tactics gave is that doing it that way lets them reset games.
Yeah. So UK BBL is also not using automatic validation. The big guys have to go in and confirm games, but we
Same
do
with
it.
Goblin.
Yeah, we do it like mostly straight away.
Yeah. So
in fact,
imagine that affects how quickly the results would also show up, right? In something like Galentio's solution.
Actually, no. So Galentio's the results show up even when they're unthingied at the moment.
Okay.
But they're yellow.
They would just get. They show up as yellow. Perfect.
Yep. But you can still see all the stats on them.
Getting featured before the Cyanide.
Wow.
I mean, getting
Absolutely.
features that weren't in in Spike, you know, that's something that wasn't, right?
And
No,
actually, oh, go ahead, Galantio.
No, it was, but the color that he used was like really not like he only used like gray to symbolize.
Okay, so we just didn't notice.
Yeah, it was hard to notice.
Oh, someone put Galentio's tool in the chat as well because people need to know about that. All right,
I
so
just
should
had the
we?
Dairy League and OCC recently, so
Yeah, should we go through then? Should we start looking at these teams?
Yeah. Before we do that, real quick,
Yep.
just since it was just mentioned, I actually had to reset a match yesterday in Goblin, and it worked perfect, no problems. Tool was quick and good with it, and then the coaches were able to replay. And
sorry, it's just card night being a douche.
Cordite is just lowered the
Galentio's
level
tool.
by, you know.
Nice.
Jesus Christ!
It's quite
Have I missed this?
you should ban him.
we weren't quite as can you ban me for 2 minutes while you get more cider?
Jesus Christ! He usually quietens down after he's done his joke, so he should be all right now.
Yeah, I'll
And
calm down.
one more cider in him, and he'll be calmer. Okay, right. So let's go through these in order.
Yeah, that's totally how that works, definitely.
Yeah, let's go through
We're
these.
gonna have a quick look at each roster.
Yeah. So let's go through these in order for the 5th time. Pidpad, fortunately, is first. Frog Salad, which I believe is a name from his old OCC team, and he has chosen OWA. So let's have a quick look.
So he's gone the massive route.
He's gone. So I'll give you the stats first. So he's got 1 million TV, with an Apo, 2 rerolls, and he's gone for 1 dedicated fans as well. His squad is the triumvirate, I guess, of a blitzer, thrower, and a catcher. 2 human linemen. The troll element is full as well, I think. So he's got the slayer, the blitzer, and 2 blockers. No runner, but I think the general consensus is the runner is junk, so that's fine. I'm glad to see a fling there, and also a treeman.
I think really that, you know, there are only 2 main kind of good Old World Alliance starts. I would say it's either this or you take another human lineman instead of the Apple.
I actually think it's worth turning down some of the dwarfs. Like, they
So
cost
you would
a
want
lot.
to start. You'd want to start with 3 rerolls.
Yeah, exactly, and they cost a lot, and they're good for like carrying guard later on. But I don't find them very useful in a lot of the matchups you end up playing in. Right, either they get outstrengthed by the strength teams, or they get
I mean, you know,
run away from by
I
the.
think that what makes them compatible with 2 rerolls is they all have loner anyway, so you're not going to be using rerolls on them anyway. So it kind of fits together, you know.
As a OWA coach that qualified in the ladder, and I can assure you the dwarfs are really crucial to face other
They are.
strength teams because you're basically Bashir humans. So-
Basically, this is one of those teams that can, you know, it can guarantee like 6 guard on the team quite
Yeah,
quickly
easily.
without needing, you know, any secondaries. So that's why you have to lean into the dwarves to give you that guard wall.
The main there's also a main decision on OWA. Do you take the tree or do you take the ogre?
Yeah.
The tree is much more of a roadblock, but if it roots, sometimes it gets like
Yeah.
ignored the entire drive because
And
it's
it's
just a
cheap-
tree in the middle of the field.
It's cheaper too, obviously.
Yeah, it's 20k cheaper, and it comes with stand firm and
I mean, the tree's pretty.
Like the tree.
ranked 6.
The tree's pretty good.
And
I
it's
mean,
got-
is there if you chose the ogre for OWA, does that indicate a different play style, perhaps, or is it just a different big guy that does the same job?
I think you're a lot more likely to blitz with the ogre than you are with the tree man.
Like if you
Yeah.
get with an OWA team to the late game, I would say an ogre is better. He's more mobile, and the tree has the tendency to get clawed. Claw teams love to claw trees, basically. They
But on the other hand,
tunnel
that means
vision.
claw teams love standing players next to a tree, which, like, about 50% of the time just
Yeah,
results
but-
in, you know.
But normally you get your tree cast in like 2 or 3 turns, and then it gets awkward.
Why is Spider streaming while he's doing this?
Because he's a
I just
legend.
got a notification saying the Spider's gone live.
Pidpad says getting guard on the dwarfs as quickly is important, so they need to be there. Yeah, and I can't. I think you'd be insane, Cordon, not leading to the dwarfs from the off. I think you need them there, right? Because otherwise, just play humans, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Apart from the runner, obviously.
Yeah, and they're AV10, so that also helps. Thick skull also.
All right. Anyway, so I'd say a fairly standard OWA build there. But yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I think you can think about skipping the Apo and going for a bench for another lineman. I think
Yeah, I would take another Lino instead of the Apple. The Appling is too fragile.
All right.
you want the halfling on the bench basically.
Yeah.
When you're defending, and then he's a possible one-turn option.
Yeah, always a fire and forget Fowler, isn't he? You just bring him out.
Yeah, but
Foul
you
with
want
him.
him on your drive. You don't
Yeah.
want to defend with him. Really.
No.
You want him on your drive. Yeah.
All right. Next team is Wismahill. So Wismahill, we know fairly well. Former, never winner, I don't think, of our Stunty Cup, but certainly played in it quite a few
he did.
times.
He won the season.
Did he win it?
Yeah,
And-
he won a season. Yeah.
And I think he won it with Underworld as well, didn't he? So presumably he knows what he's doing with Underworld. So let's have a quick look at his team. Again,
I don't think winning Stunty Cup with Underworld is quite the same as playing Underworld in. And also, this is not quite the same. This is far better Underworld than the Blood Bowl 2.
Yeah, yeah,
Underworld,
absolutely.
Just a little bit.
yeah, there are quite a few changes, and they're a much better team now. I'll just give you the quick stats, then we can look at the team. So again, TV of 1 million, 3 rerolls, 1 fans, and an Apo as well. He's got an Rat Ogre big guy, all the positionals basically. So he's got the Skaven Blitzer, the Gutter Runner, the 3 Clan Rats, the Thrower, 3 Goblin Linemen, and then he's gone all in on the Snotlings as well. So he's got 4 of them.
Well,
2.
no, he hasn't got all that. So
I hate it. It's terrible.
Yeah, so basically,
Yeah.
I think there is this, a very sort of consolidated school of thought that says you definitely want all 6 Snotlings.
All 6 knots, yeah.
Snotlings are just better than goblins. There's also, whether you start with the Roger or you go with the Troll, definitely there's 2 options there. They do kind of give you different things. The Roger maybe is a bit better out the gate, and the Troll maybe better at higher TV. But
Yeah, I agree.
definitely you want 6 Snotlings. Definitely.
I mean, Snotlings are not better than Goblins, right? Snotlings are shit, but
I mean-
having 14 players on the pitch is really
Yeah.
really good.
It's,
And so
yeah,
you want the
Horrible.
opportunity to have
horrible to
3
play
So-
against. Horrible to
There
play
are
against.
situations. There are many situations where Snotlings are straight up better than Goblins.
Yeah.
Like, for example, the fact that they're 2+ anywhere, a Goblin is a 3+ anywhere, and that's a huge difference. The Snotlings, you can just create clouds of Snotlings that just get in the way, and just basically reduce the mobility of the opponent a lot, especially and for things like chain pushing. If the opponent goes anywhere near the sideline, you can suddenly dodge a couple of Snotlings into their cage, and you create chain pushes that just serve players. I mean, they have such huge kind of utility.
But
And
there
Swarming
is,
is overpowered.
They also explode.
yeah. There is another reason I like this team, and that is I don't like 1,000 TV Underworld.
No, I don't
Yeah.
either. I agree.
I think you should be trying to get inducements, and like the 70k rerolls, it's worth having 2,
Mhm.
so that you
You
actually
can start with 2 rerolls and no Apo.
yeah. Yeah,
Give
exactly.
you, and also you can put money into fans as well.
And then you basically you get a biased ref and a bribe your first game, and you knock a player down, foul him off the pitch, knock a player down, foul him off the pitch. and you win the game.
50k bribes. So 50k
Yep.
bribes.
Absolutely.
And you're using
Essential.
Snotlings to foul people.
And with a biased ref, a 5 or a 6 is getting away with it, and a 1 is re-rolled because of your bribery and corruption. So there's basically a pretty high chance of you getting away with fouling without even needing the bribe.
Yeah, and the whole time you're fouling with Snotlings, which are like 15k.
Chain
Yeah.
pieces. Yep.
So when you have a bribe, you don't even bother using it on the snotlings when you're fouling with them because
No.
you know.
Absolutely. I think for
That's the
me,
thing.
rapidly, Underworld are going to be the new dwarfs. 'Cause I'm just going to hate to play them.
Well,
Oh, I
I
they,
mean,
hate playing them.
yes and no. So what's funny is that they're actually, I think they're even way better in a resurrection format than a league format. The only issue they have in a league format is that they are so fragile that they are a glass cannon. Sure, they can be very difficult to play against, especially if they're played well, because you have to kind of play them in a different style to your normal Blood Bowl team. But they can also, if you're facing them, you can also be rubbing your hands because you're going to be getting more SPP than you normally would because you'll be, those
Yeah.
snotlings will be exploding as well.
I'm really excited to play them in a league. I'm playing them in Rebel, and I will happily have my Rat Ogre get killed because it just means I'm going to get more inducements and I'm going to get Morg
Yeah.
or
Well,
Hack
I give
Phlegm
you-
or
I give you an example in Era BB. I took Undead first round. I faced Underworld, and the opponent conceded at halftime because I just murdered so many of his players.
Mhm.
And obviously that's not going to happen every time, and dice are involved, but that can happen.
oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, the armor's pretty low across the whole board, isn't it, really? It's only the Ogre and the Blitzer are 9+, which is 8+ in old money. So, yeah, it's not brilliant. All right, anything else on Wismar team?
No, I think we've been
No,
rude to him enough.
just I think most of us would want 6 snotlings is the main.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think that's the biggest difference. Okay, Balls to the Waller is next, and he is playing Shambling Undead. So again, I'll give you the quick stats. Ghoul Guys, just 11 players, 990 TV. He has got, well, again, there's not much choice, I don't think, at this level.
I think this is just the bog
Undead.
standard Undead team, and there's really no
Yeah.
other build.
Yeah,
Yeah.
3 rerolls, 2 fans, all full positionals. Well, not full because he's only got 2 ghouls,
No,
but
just 2 ghouls. The difference
I-
between this and BB2 is it's basically 2 ghouls instead of 3.
I think some people might take 2 rerolls and 3 ghouls, but
At the start with
Yeah.
Undead, you only have 2 sources of block. You
Yeah.
spend a lot of rerolls just on blocking.
Some people might
I
do it,
like-
but I think most people wouldn't.
And previously in like BB2, I like to take a skeleton, just one.
yeah, I was going
I do too.
to mention that.
But
Yeah.
even-
for,
but
for
even-
the long range
but now-
fouling.
Yep.
Well, because of the long range, but now because ghouls are amazing fouling pieces. Like of the 4 ghouls, you definitely like anything that has general and edge access
Yeah.
that isn't insanely expensive. It's a sneak. You're building a sneaky get dirty player, and they're way better fouler than a skeleton. So that's the reason why I just wouldn't take a skeleton anymore.
Yeah. And if you get Sneaky Git and Dirty Player on a Lino, it's almost the same TV, just because they have to
Yeah.
to get access to it through doubles, basically.
Yeah, or
Secondary.
random and hope they get around.
Oh, that's saucy.
Yeah. I mean, you could
I mean,
always random that. You could save enough SPP and just random
Well-
the first one, but I mean, that's a long shot, isn't it, really? I
Well,
mean, it'll
Well, I
happen,
think
but
what's very interesting with BB3 or the BB 2020 rules, obviously as applied to a league, which most of us haven't really experienced, beyond maybe a few games, is the whole randoming aspect. Because
Hmm.
compared to the old leveling system, I guess the randoming is the closest that we get to that sort of, oh, hey, look at the amazing player I've built, because everything else is just cookie cutter.
I mean, I'm in a couple of TT leagues where there are, experienced teams who have randoms from previous seasons. It's a nightmare
Yeah.
when you're, a fresh 1000 TV team and you're facing a team that's got Blodge already for the 10K.
At least it's something that makes leveling interesting.
yeah.
And some teams I think are going to benefit a lot more from randoms than others.
And talking of teams that benefit from it, a team where you've got 4 players and you can cycle through them, I think increases the advantage of randoming. So having like random generals on ghouls, there are so many good hits for the first skill, and then you make a choice about the second skill,
Well, like
and
zombies,
you level them quite quickly.
zombies I think are a perfect candidate for random generals, because even if you get a dud, let's say you get, I don't know, I mean, and there aren't,
Bend.
to be honest, there aren't that many. Well, let's say shadowing. Okay,
Yeah.
there aren't that many complete duds. Yeah, sure hands, right? On a zombie, it's a
Yeah.
dud. Even that for 10k, stick him on the line. You don't care, right? You're giving away 10k. I mean, if it's a problem with inducements, you sack him. But otherwise, stick him on the line. Just
I mean, and also zombies in undead. You know, you're probably gonna get more of them just for free anyway. So
Yep.
Yeah.
As you kill
Yeah.
players.
You keep doing the randoms, and you're gonna get some decent. You're gonna get some decent ones.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
it's interesting you raise those points because if I think the OCC continued as it did under BB2, where you had, again, just thinking about your team, Spider, that had played about a bazillion games since the beginning of the OCC.
Right.
If you could save up and pick your skills on those players, I mean that your Lizard team would be insane. So
Yeah.
it'd be interesting to see if, and I guess we will get redrafting and how that's going to look for like this big for a big league like the OCC. What level we'll pick or Pidpad will pick, or whoever the green suits basically will pick, and how that
I
will
mean,
work.
and we may not get redrafting for a very long time.
No, true,
right?
true.
yeah,
Because first of all, Cyanide said, "Oh, we're not even doing that," and then they kind of realized, okay, maybe we have to. But even beyond that, I think it's an interesting experiment to see a league like this like run into several seasons to see what happens. Because
Mhm.
not
I've
okay.
got to say, I don't think redrafting is the panacea that a lot of people
No,
think it's
it's
going to
probably
be.
not. It's probably not the magic solution. But what's interesting is that, like, I think it's pretty clear that the casualty system in Blood Bowl 2020 is way more brutal, I think,
Yeah.
than BB2. So fine, you're going to get some players, leveling up and teams getting big, but you're going to get a lot of players dying. Like more, you're going to get a lot more death than you got in BB2. So that counteracts it to a certain extent.
And a lot more MNGs also. Teams will
loads
face
more.
rounds with half of a team.
Yeah, which again, that throws up a really interesting thing with inducements, because now we've got a limited pool of star players and they don't have their special abilities. So if they get round to adding their special abilities, which supposedly they will, and fill in those missing star players, then that will start to make more of a difference.
Yeah, special abilities is next season, isn't it? So
and
I mean, not next season, the season after. So
Yep.
it's
on the
relatively
roadmap.
soon. Yeah.
and next
Yeah.
next season is rumored to include more secret weapons like bombers and stuff like that made a splash
mean,
on the tabletop.
For some of the stars, obviously the special abilities make like Morg, his special ability makes no difference, right? Morg is already just busted
well,
because of Mighty Blow +2. But
Yeah.
there are others where the special ability makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it does absolutely. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, let's go back to the next team, which is Spiders. Oh my god, the start of a new dynasty, the Liz Orca
Yes,
Men
it is.
Cola Guzzlers. Here we go. Right, do you want to talk us through it, Spider? As you're
Never
on.
heard of that. Never heard of that team.
Yeah.
Yep, they are back. So basically, when I start a new Lizard team in a league format, I never start with the Crocs. Even in Blood Bowl 2, I didn't. If it was a resurrection tournament or a tournament style like that, then I would definitely start with the Crocs. But since this is more of a long term, I like to get the 6 Saurus going with as many rerolls as I can. In this case, because the Saurus are 5k more, it doesn't allow you to start with 3 rerolls, so can only start with the 2. So I got the 6 Saurus, 4 regular skinks, and then the chameleon skink. I've played a lot of lizards so far in the 2020 rules, and I like the chameleon skink, but I don't know that they're really any better than a regular skink. They're 1 move shorter or less than the regular skinks, but they do start with on the ball, which is nice if you want to make one a ball carrier, which is what I tend to do.
Yeah.
So with my
Yeah,
with my
effectively losing 1 movement but gaining 3 squares at the beginning of a drive probably evens out, right?
Well, and it's not only just in the middle of a drive. On the ball actually replaces pass block as well. So you get that 3 movement whenever the opponent is handing the ball off or passing.
Yeah.
No matter if you're in range or not. So that actually is kind of beneficial if it's placed right, especially if you have 2 chameleons on the side.
It's very situational, but yes, it can have an impact.
Yeah. So what I do is,
but the rules have changed, right? So it's not, you don't have to be in range, or you don't have to get in contact with someone
no.
like in Blood
Yep.
Bowl 2. It's just everyone with with on the ball
On the
gets
ball
to
can move. Yep.
3 squares.
Yep. Following normal movement.
Imagine if Games Workshop release a comedy team where every player has on the ball. Just think about it.
All the different movement that's going on. Yeah.
And some people forget that Chameleon Skinks have secondary access to passing. If you random
Yes.
passing, you can get really nice stuff. And he already has passing 3+.
Yep. He's
So
the only
I
real
would-
passer.
I would say just one thing to do with your starting build. I absolutely agree. I would start this way with the 6 Sauruses and the 2 rerolls and the Chameleon. I like 1 Chameleon, but didn't you consider putting that 40k into dedicated fans?
I thought about it, and I've toyed around with this with a couple of different builds, but I like making sure that I'm going to get my APO by round 2, no matter what.
So with the 40k and dedicated fans, I mean, I haven't done the math on it, but
Chances are you're still going to get your 50k. Correct.
You're still going to get your 50k, but you're turbo boosting your earnings.
Your earnings. Yep. Absolutely, and
games.
that's definitely one way to go about it. This time I didn't do that. I decided to just keep the 40k. But that is absolutely a valid point. No valid way
Might
to do
also
it.
be useful if you lose a player on round 1.
As far as leveling, the source, I will not random anything. I'll save money and get block first. I'll do my typical build. I usually do a couple of block and then a mighty blow first here and there, depending on how how the SPP plays out. For the Chameleon, what I'm going to plan to do is holding SPP until I can get to a stat, because with the stat boost, you can always take move or armor. Most likely, I would take the move first, unless he gets the edge up. If he gets the edge up, obviously that's the first choice. I wouldn't worry with strength on him. The most important stats for the Chameleon are the edge up and getting that back up to move 8 if you can. If he survives long enough and is able to get that edge and or move, then I would save up to get block or sure hands, just kind of depending on how I feel, one or the other.
So I ran, so with the first season, of the ladder, I ran a lizard team, maybe 30 games into the ladder or something.
Mhm.
And what I found absolutely amazing is random generals on the skinks, and actually even on the Chameleon as well. Like random generals, it's cost the same as
A normal.
a normal skill, but like there are so few bad outcomes for random generals, and you can build amazing players. Like one of the massive differences Lizardmen have compared to BB2 is like in BB2 you want all the SPP on the sources and nothing on the skinks, or maybe one uber skink or
Uber
2.
skink, yep.
But basically here you can actually invest SPP into the skinks because you can build really interesting players with random generals.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like I remember I had a skink which was strip ball tackle. It was amazing. And it can get in anywhere, uphill anyone without sure hands, and you got a big chance of popping the ball loose.
That would be.
I went random double on random general on my Chameleon, sure hands, like first skill. Obviously, you got to get lucky as well, right? But you can recycle as well.
Yep, that would be my plan if I do pick up a second Chameleon skink. Would be the random generals as much as possible.
How many Chameleon skinks can you have? 4? Is it 4?
2.
You can have 2.
Yep.
My preference is just stick with 1.
Yeah, typically that's what I've done so far, and I probably will do that here too. But depending on how I feel and how the seasons play out, I may potentially pick up a second one.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure there are any positionals where you should stick with 1. If you're taking 1, because of the number of MNGs, don't you want to have a backup for the games where you don't have him, because he is going to get punched.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It depends as well on you've got to manage your TV compared to your opponents, right? So it slightly depends on that.
I will probably carry. I used to in the past only carry 12 on lizard teams. I may go 13 here. I went with a couple different teams in Blood Bowl 3 with 13, and I like 13 on the lizards. Obviously, the Crocs would be the 12th one, and then either an extra skink or the extra Chameleon if I go that route. For the skink, I will absolutely random every skill on them. For the regular skinks, it'd be agility first to try to get the sneaky get. If I don't get it, just recycle it, and then once I get that sneaky get, I'll save up to get dirty player or try to random dirty player.
I did the other way. the other way around, where one of my random generals was dirty player.
Yeah, and then you
like,
save for
because
sneaky get.
I think that's why it makes sense to always go random general on all of them, because then once you hit that, basically that dictates what player you're building, and it's way
Mhm.
easier than to just just give him sneaky get afterwards.
Yep. So that's the plans. We'll see what happens. Sundrop. I've actually, excuse me. I actually thought about
There he is.
saving SPP on Sundrop to try to get a strength
Bro.
boost on the first skill up, but
I think you need block first. Actually, no, get the blodge first, right? You had blodge
Yeah.
as well.
He had
right?
blodge, didn't he? Break
The
tackle.
main question
Yeah.
here is, was one of the perks of being a VIP that you get all the cosmetics for the lizards? Because there's a lot of cosmetics that I'm seeing.
I do
They're looking good.
have a lot of the cosmetics, but not all of them.
Not
Was
all
that
of
a
them.
perk of being a VIP, or did you just spend a lot of money?
I did not
have
spend.
Francis
I
by
did
that.
not spend a lot of money. I'll put it that way.
All right, brilliant.
Very,
Thanks.
very tight.
You don't have them all yet.
They're not all out
agree,
yet.
I agree with Javelin here. Without the break tackle is not the same anymore.
Yeah, that's what
so-
Javelin
Yeah,
said.
true. So what you really need is Agi up then, right?
Yeah, I mean, the break tackle still would be okay if you were strength 5 or higher, but it's not near like it used to be, obviously.
Yeah, you can't like bust cages with break tackle anymore.
Strength,
Yeah.
break, tackle, plus agility.
Okay.
You got 2 pluses again.
So are we
Yeah.
are we having a betting ring about whether Sundrop dies game 1 or not?
Yeah, he dies on his first hit.
Yeah, first hit. Definitely.
Well, considering the last one survived for an entire game's worth of OCC,
300. Yeah,
I'll-
300 games basically.
I'll take the betting that he stays alive. Thank you very much.
That can be the side
Yeah.
bet this week.
I think he's used up all of his 9 lives.
All right. Thanks, guys. Next one is Varus. Again, a name known to us, I think.
Yeah, and
And-
he was a Bretonian coach,
Yeah,
right? So
exactly,
he's-
yeah. So perhaps no
Yep.
surprise, Knobs. Merry Winemakers again. Quick stat attack. It's got 35k in the bank, 965 TV, 2 rerolls, 1 fans, no Apo. Again, fairly standard build, I'd say. So 2 blitzers, thrower, 3 bodyguards, who are essentially the old
four Raiders.
whatever they were called, can't remember, and then 4
blockers.
blockers. Yeah, the blockers. That's right, because they got wrestle, stand firm, and then
So-
linemen. So again, I'm not that familiar with what a good
well-
Knobs team would look at. So what do you make
I
of this
mean,
one?
I've been playing quite a bit of knobs, and I was quite fond of the Bretonian team, and even looking to play on tabletop quite a bit of nobility. And actually in the BB Tactics League, I've started with nobility there. And the build that I like to start with is a little bit different to this. I like to start with 1 blitzer, and the ogre. So that I think that rounds out at 1000 TV exactly. And I'd rather kind of focus on leveling 1 blitzer first, getting the Apo, and then buying the second blitzer.
Also having the strength of the ogre, just being
And having, you need the ogre kind of.
Yeah.
This team needs,
the trouble is this team is so expensive for what it is, right? Like,
Mhm.
Yeah,
it-
105,
it-
man. That's a lot.
yeah, it
And
needs more money.
70k rerolls. I actually, would advocate staying on 2 rerolls for the entire, the entire history of the team, because
Yeah, because you can get leader on the thrower.
Get a leader on a thrower, and the rerolls just bloat you so much that I would
Yeah.
stay on 2.
The team
Well-
already bloats enough as it is.
And well, you got 6, block or wrestle.
Yeah.
That's a lot of security that
Mhm.
you can hopefully not reroll stuff with, right?
I hadn't
Yeah,
actually
for sure.
thought about. I hadn't actually thought about starting with the ogre and 1 blitzer because I've done several knob builds in 2020, but that's actually a good idea. I always just like starting with both blitzers.
It's a really solid build.
Yeah.
The ogre just adds a lot to the team.
The
Absolutely.
Paying 100k, 105k for blitzers is too much, right? They're
But
not that
you
good.
definitely buy the second one when you can.
Yeah.
But
A dark elf blitzer is 100k,
Yeah.
And that gives you 2+ dodging instead of catch. It's like
yeah.
you know,
And it's catch on a 3+.
yeah,
The
exactly.
blitzers are really interesting pieces though, because obviously
Yeah.
they're more like a strength 3 kind of human catcher than a proper human blitzer, obviously, because they don't get strength access. But you can do some really interesting builds because, for example, obviously you want kind of blood sidestep as kind of a standard kind of thing because that feeds into the whole annoyance of the it kind of builds very well with the stand firm and the fend having the blood sidestep. It's just another annoying piece that's not going where you want to push it or not doing what you want when you're hitting it. But then you can add things. Obviously, you can save up for things like guard and or mighty blow on them. And what's interesting is, like, for example, you can give one defensive, which actually is very interesting. Having a blodge defensive piece, like in the middle of all of your guard,
with sidestep.
With sidestep is actually very interesting.
And look at that hat.
Yeah, he's
Spider's
got Brutal
Spider's
Edition.
got about 10 of them.
That means he spent 60 quid, right?
Probably.
That's a legendary hat.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Any
it
more
came-
on
came
this
with,
knob? Any more on?
Brutal.
I'm going to make the joke now. Varus's knobs.
No.
The plural already messes that up, but yeah.
There's enough Imperial Nobility teams that the joke will.
Yeah,
Run his
that
course
can be like
Yeah.
the regular joke that we make. Okay. We still haven't had a repeated team, which is quite good considering there's only 13. But okay, next team up is Gimlick, again known to us. Orca Cola Orcs.
This is a division full of knobs, so we are going to get
Yeah.
repeats.
We'll get a couple more.
Yeah,
It'd be interesting to see if the other knob teams are the same. builds
yeah,
or
absolutely, absolutely. And he's gone for Blorks, so Black Orcs, who are again a new
Yeah.
team. Million TV. I'm going to get that wrong every time. Million TV, 2 rerolls, 1 fans, and again the whole lot, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Blorks,
12 players.
Troll, and then obviously the rest Gobbos. So again, that's a standard build, isn't it? Is there a 3 reroll build in there without the Troll?
There is. You
Yeah,
can drop the
yeah.
troll and you get 3 rerolls. But we'll get to. I'm taking Black Orcs as well, and we'll get to my team later, and it's the same build as it.
Right.
Yeah, this is the right choice. I think. You just don't like brawler means you don't have it's a semi block anyway, right? And you just take the bad dice when they're not important.
Yeah.
Because essentially you have
And
to.
I think having the troll from the start. I mean, it's a bit like Lizardman having the Crocs, right? Obviously, it's not the same team. It's a very different team, but having that extra strength definitely helps.
People like to say they are like slower lizards, basically. But I think
Yeah.
they.
But they're not.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I think they like escalate more in terms of violence the more TV they have.
Well, that's one. I mean, we'll get to, I guess, talk about it when it's, unless we want to talk about it.
I
now,
mean,
that's
but,
when
it's easy though, isn't it? They escalate more because they are a fouling team, and
Yeah,
and once
so
they've got
that-
some fouling skills, they will murder. Whereas lizards
I think they have the
would
potential.
like to be. But
Yeah, they have the potential at high TV to be almost like the most murdery team in the game.
Especially because they all have grab and you can get multiple hits
yeah.
if you're positioned right and you're grabbing right.
Yeah, you can
You get
chain
multiple
multiple
chances.
hits.
Pass them all along the chain, can't you?
And you can use that grab to pull enemies into the middle of all of your players and
Yep, for the
foul.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they have 50k bribe access as well.
Yeah, just like Underworld.
Yeah.
But they
Yeah.
also have their glaring weakness, which is when things go wrong for them, they can't react.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
can get very easily outmaneuvered.
Yeah,
so
that
positioning
movement four is a killer.
is really important.
I've played a few Black Orc teams in the ladder, and yeah, I've won because they've basically got out of position and then I've danced
I
around
mean, they're
them.
not great. They're not great at low TV. Like, I haven't taken them thinking that I'm going to get into the championship in season 1. I'm taking them for the long haul.
Mhm.
Long haul. Well, Danton, we'll come to your Black Orc ideas when it comes to your team, I think. Otherwise,
Yeah.
we'll be
Yeah, no
taking
worries.
it forever for each team. But this will naturally get shorter anyway as we cover different teams.
I don't know. I've looked at the other Brett teams, and I'm worried we're going to spend a long time talking about all the differences. But let's go.
That's fine.
We're gonna spend all night knobbing.
Yeah.
There
we go.
It's all about the knobs.
All about the knobs.
I mean,
Okay.
We all have different knobs for night.
Okay. I'm gonna try this one. Bambala Cha-cha. Bambala Cha-cha. Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Orcs. So
Sounds Spanish.
Orcs have changed somewhat as well, but not massively. 1,000 TV, 3 rerolls, 1 fans, 4 big and blockers, which are the new Black Orcs, but they're big uns now. 4 blitzers, 2 linemen, and then no thrower, but a goblin. No
the
troll.
Goblin Bicycle.
Yeah, I like this build. To be honest, I prefer with orcs. I prefer to start with 3 rerolls.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree.
You don't need to troll as much for orcs as you do with black orcs.
No.
And it's more a case of I mean, some people like Mr. Throw and some people don't. But this build is fine.
Yeah, the difference between this, Mr. Throw, or even just 3 linemen it's pretty minimal.
Pretty minimal, isn't it? Really.
It's personal taste, right? I think.
Yeah, and without Mr. Throw as well, you're going to score on your blitzers, which is going to get them more SPP quicker, which is probably in my opinion, a better investment, right?
And Animosity made Mr. Throw even worse. So
Yeah.
I get this build.
I like Mr. Throw. I think in Resurrection.
Yeah.
Not so much in
For a leader carrier as well.
Oh yeah, well, no, just the fact that you get to not you're not spending a skill to get sure hands. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Sure hands mainly. I took orcs to the World Cup, and I took a Mr. Throw.
Okay, great. Okay, standard team color wise as well, and no special hats there. And
we should be looking. You're checking this out.
I'm checking this out now.
Okay.
All right. 2 more knobs and then some more lizards. So next one was a new coach to me, Nitroxide.
Yeah, I don't know him.
I think he definitely played. He played in Blood Bowl 2.
He's been in quite a few seasons.
Yeah, I've just got a bad memory. So he's gone again. Knobs. He's gone for the ogre build this time, so that's slightly different. 970 TV, 2 rerolls, 4 fans, no Appo.
I mean,
Both blitzers.
I'm not a fan because to me the blockers are the key pieces in the team.
Yeah.
Starting with 2 of them is just not good.
Essentially, Knobs win by defending really well, and they defend really well because
Stand firm.
4 stand firm and X fend, and the 2 things are really annoying to get past.
Yep.
And reducing that makes them like just worse humans. This is kind of like a human team with which is much slower, for no sure hands, and it's just worse.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer the other build.
I much prefer the other build than this one.
But we never know.
You never know. See how he gets on. I mean, it'd be interesting to see.
Whatever build you take, you can have your position murdered game 1.
Yeah. I mean, I think you can justify most builds in Blood Bowl if you wanted to. It's just whether that's long term going to always work, right? I mean,
this is one of those builds that you're like, why not take humans instead? Basically.
I'm not convinced by the build.
Okay, right. Next knob team when it comes up. This is again new coach to me, DeWalker, the Talabheim.
Oh wow, this is a really weird one.
Okay, what do we think?
What do we
3
think?
rerolls. Apothecary.
3 rerolls, Appo, 1 fans, 995, 5k in the bank, 4 bodyguards, 1 blitzer, best lineman.
I think I like Nitros better than this one.
This is ultra conservative.
Yeah, this is. I'm gonna attempt some crazy stuff.
Well, but starting with 3 we already said you probably don't want to go above 2 rerolls for the entire kind of history of the team. So immediately, this is 3 rerolls.
Well, but he's not got a thrower, so he can't
No.
rely on leader.
But is he looking at? Is he?
The blitzer's your ball carrier, obviously.
Yeah.
Is he looking at the lineman on a 4+ pass and thinking, yeah, with 3 rerolls, I can make that work? Maybe he's thinking that, right? I mean,
I smell a team that's gonna be recycled after one season.
Yeah, sorry, DeWalker.
I mean, is it rude to say level 15 coach is a sign that they've only played 15
No,
games
quite,
of Blood Bowl
quite
3 so far?
quite possibly, he's an inexperienced coach, and he's just played a few games on ladder, and
Yeah.
this is what he's come with. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's suboptimal.
In our opinion.
in our opinion.
Is our-
We'll look
is our
really
opinion.
stupid if he does really well.
Yeah, he's going to romp home first place.
I'll be the
well,
one to go out on. I'll be the one to go out on the limb and say it's terrible.
Absolutely
I
fine.
mean, good luck.
What-
Good
what-
luck.
what-
Good luck to him.
What do we say
Yeah.
is a bold choice, right? So
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah,
A very bold choice.
Rowdy,
Fighting the meta.
rowdy choice.
fighting the meta, exactly, Glentia. Okay, and then Crunky, which we all know, Serpent's Dominion, Lizardman. Let's have a quick look. So again, 1 million TV, practically the same
Oh,
as
it's-
yours, but
No,
not
no chameleon.
No,
Yeah,
no
no,
chameleon.
no
Two
chameleon
rerolls.
and spent
and-
the money on an Apo.
Yeah,
so
got the
he has
Apo
an Apo
instead,
that Spider doesn't.
Hmm.
Yeah, he saved the 10K by not going with Chameleon, which let him get the APO.
Yeah, which there's an argument for that because
Yep,
if you
absolutely.
lose a Source game one. I mean that hurts.
Yep, that's the chance you take with my build is you got to survive game one, and if you survive game one, then you should be okay.